Hi, it's Donita. It is September 7th, which is just a few days after my 9 months post-op. So it's been 9 months, basically, and a few days since my surgery, since my gastric bypass. And so I will give you the last time I weighed in, my number. So I've lost, I think it's a total of 135 pounds. Yeah. Like you guys know, I don't weigh in often. I don't obsess with it. Maybe I should obsess with it a little more than I do. But I don't really. At this point, once I hit I have like 3 months until I hit my 1-year anniversary from surgery. And I told my husband, if I've lost 140 pounds, if I've lost 150 pounds, if I've lost 160 pounds at that point, that it will be still a success. I mean, to lose 140, 150 pounds, 160 pounds in a year, I really have nothing to complain about. So I'm not going to see the negative, I'm going to see the positive. I did want to really, this video was not really to do a weight update or a food haul. The purpose of this video was, I just wanted to share some moments and talk about life after surgery. And so, let me just say, on Friday, we had a wedding to go to, a family wedding. And we were excited about going as a family, of course. So, to make a long story short, I get there and I look over at my husband and I say, hey, is that so-and-so and so-and-so? Which is 2 of my best friends from high school. And it was just so weird because I'm like, that's them. They were at the wedding and I haven't seen both of them together. All 3 of us haven't been together in 18 years probably. It's been 18 years since all 3 of us have been in the same room together. And part of that may be my fault. Part of that is I have always been ashamed of my excess weights, and I would hide from certain people. Not on purpose, but yet on purpose, like I just didn't want to, and it's nothing to do with them because they're great people. It was my bestest friends in high school, and they're not judgmental. It's not like they wouldn't want to see me because I was huge, but I didn't want them to see me like that. And so here I am at the wedding, and they're there in front of me. And of course, I'm 135 pounds less than what I was, I mean, I'm sure they knew I had gained tons of weight, as you would see in pictures if you saw me on Facebook or anywhere. You would know that I had gained weight. And here I am in this moment, excited, to see them. And yet this guilt in the back of my mind that I've robbed myself years of friendship. I mean, I feel like they're the type of friends that you would be friends with no matter what. Like, you could be away from them for years, and then as soon as you see each other, it's like nothing has changed. Like, time stood still, and you are the same friends that you were always. And it was that moment with them. I mean, it was great. We had an amazing night together, dancing, laughing. It was an amazing night. But it really just made me realize how much I've let my excess weight rob me of things in life. And so I just, I'm already emotional, and I'm not going to do an emotional video. I'm not going to try to. So it really hit me that I had let my excess weight rob me of time with them all these years because I was too ashamed of my weight to interact with people face to face sometimes. I would hide. I mean, even with my husband, he would invite me to things, and I'd be like, I don't want to embarrass you. And he would always say, I'm proud of you. You're not an embarrassment to me. And he could tell me that till he was blue in his face. I wouldn't believe it because to me, it made no sense, you know? It made no sense that he would still be proud of me at 375 pounds or 395 pounds or 400 pounds. And so when I saw my friends, I was probably, well, I mean, I don't know the last time they saw me. I was probably definitely not 400 pounds, you know, I was thinner. But they both, of course, noticed that I had lost weight, and I didn't really discuss it with them. I just said thank you and let it go. But let me just go on regarding the wedding. The wedding was outside. The reception was inside. And so you had to go down all these steps to get to the ceremony. And so of course would mean you would have to go up all these steps to get back up from the ceremony to get into the reception. And so the wedding's over, and it's extremely hot out. I mean, it was really, really hot. And there was a couple girls that are there that are big, big girls. And, you know, my kind of big before. And I know these girls very well. Anyways, we're leaving and we're walking up, and I realized it hits me again. Oh my gosh, a year ago, you would have been dreading this moment, walking down all those steps, knowing that you had to come back all those steps. You would have been out of breath the first 3 steps. You would have been sweating like a pig. You would have been scared the chair was too tiny to sit on. You were going to break it. I had all these flashbacks, and I'm looking at them and I'm feeling for them because they are me. I look at them and they are me. These girls, I felt like, snubbed me all night. Maybe not on purpose, maybe on purpose, but I just felt snubbed. I didn't let it get to me much because I was having that friendship reunion with my older friends, you know, so I didn't let it get to me too much. But we got into the car that night. I just told my husband, like, I went up to them and told them how beautiful they looked, how nice they looked, because they did. I mean, I think they're beautiful women. But I almost feel like they felt like I'm not in the fat club anymore. And mind you, I'm still fat. I mean, I am. I'm still fat. Just not the same kind of fat, you know? But I almost felt snubbed because I'm not in that, I mean, one of them just kind of looked at me up and down, like, who do you think you are? You know, like, who do you think you are? It was hard for me, but I just let it roll off me. But it's bothered me ever since. It just bothered me. So I had this great moment where I felt like a reunion with friends that was unplanned. So a year ago, if that would have happened, I would have been so ashamed to see them. You know, I would have been so embarrassed that they would see me at my worst. Yet they're the kind of girls that would have loved me anyway. You know, they're not going to not love me because I'm heavy or, you know. The night was great though. I mean, I had so much energy. I danced so much that night. I mean, I just felt, it was so refreshing. It was so refreshing to have the energy to just move. A year ago, I would have just hidden a corner. Because I would have felt like, you know, and my husband was videotaping me dancing without me knowing it, and taking pictures of me dancing without me knowing it. And when I saw the video, I still was like, gosh, you look huge. I'm sure we all do that, you know, because like he had me from behind and my butt was like right in the camera, and I'm like, why did you do that? And then he posted it on Facebook. But I guess I'll always have those moments, you know, where you just don't feel your best. But my whole point is the wedding a year ago would have been hard for me. I wouldn't have enjoyed it. I got to actually enjoy myself. I didn't feel like a prisoner. You know what I mean? so often these past years, I just felt like a prisoner in my own body. I wanted to get out. I wanted to do things, but the weight held me back. And I am free of that right now. And the night was one of the best nights I have had in a long time. Probably mostly because I got to see my old friends. I mean, it was so amazing. Just amazing. So, yeah, that happened. It was great. Then the next day, I get a call, and that my grandma is dying, and which is a huge shock. I mean, she's older, but it was a huge shock because the last time I saw her, I mean, she can't get around really well because she has arthritis really bad. She had arthritis really bad. So her getting around was always a problem, but her numbers were always good, and she just always was good, as far as her numbers, and her only everything was good. Her problem was she just couldn't get around. Well, to make a long story short, she got a urinary tract infection, which seems like such a simple thing, It seems simple to me, at least. But they must not have caught it, and the antibiotics, once they caught it, it was like it was too late, and the infection had spread to her bloodstream. And so she's in a nursing home, and her feet were turning purple. So they took her to the hospital, from what I understand, and my mom and aunt found out that that's what happened, and they weren't giving her very long to live. Like, from what I understand, it would spread to all of her organs. So we get this call on Saturday, yesterday evening, and my husband calls and tries to find out as much as he can, and my grandma was alert, and she's talking. My brother-in-law went to see her. She knew who he was. I mean, she was fine. So I thought I would be fine to wait till the next day to go visit her. And that's what everybody had planned in the family, was to wait until morning to go see her. So that's the plan. And my husband called me in the morning on his way home from work and said, "You need to get up now. You need to get the kids. It's not good." Her vitals are dropping fast. And so, yeah. So we rush up there, and she dies about 15 minutes before we arrive. So I didn't get to say bye to her, which bothers me a little bit. But she lived a long life. I mean, but I just, death is never easy when you're close to somebody. My grandma was such a fun lady, and we had so many fun memories as a teenager. I mean, I could tell you stories. My grandma used to be really big too. She struggled with food and her weight, and at one point she had gotten put in a nursing home years and years ago, like probably 20 years ago, because my grandma was like 300 and 400 pounds, and they put her on a strict diet in the nursing home, and like put her on a 1,200 calorie diet, and she dropped all this weight, and she kept it off, once she got out of the nursing home. And the reason I'm talking about this all is for a couple reasons. Typically when I would go through something like this, some big, huge emotional thing, I would turn to food. So, it's just been interesting dealing with the emotion part of it without beating my face, because I'm so used to dealing with something like this. And that means, it would be where I would binge all night, or why did I do that? I don't know, but I did. And I found myself wanting to do that. Like, I wanted to just go binge, and I'm like, why? Why would you want that? I mean, I was good. It's not like I didn't, but I wanted to. Like, I felt that thing inside of me where I didn't know how to cope. It sounds so stupid, right? Like you don't know how to cope, so you're going to feed your face. But it really hit me that when I was a teenager, I used to go, even younger, I would go visit with my grandma, and we just ate all the time. It was, when I think about my time at my grandma's, we ate constantly. If it wasn't ice cream and sundaes and bacon and grits, you know, we were ordering something. At one point, she lived across from this ice cream place, and we used to always order sundaes, or fried food, you know. But a lot of my good memories with her was eating. We did that a lot when I was a teenager. But the thing that really just stood out to me was how I normally deal with things like this would be to eat. Anyways, so I got to see family members that I hadn't seen in a while when I was at the hospital. And I did, you know, tell a couple of people about my surgery, just because I don't have a reason to hide it, and I never hide it from people. I don't, because I feel like, you know, I'm not ashamed of my surgery. I will say this always, I feel like it probably saved my life and added years to my life. Yeah. So it's been an emotional weekend, ups and downs, and I just thought I would share some of the awesome things that happened, some of my revelations and things. So I'm going to end this. This wasn't really, this was just me rambling, basically. Rambling about surgery and befores and afters, you know, things that change and things that don't change. I mean, we will always have stress in our life, and how we cope with it might change, but we can't avoid the stress ever, you know. It's going to always be there. Change in life, I mean, life is stressful. It's a blessing, but it's stressful. Yeah. So, alright, I am going to say goodnight, and I was going to do a food haul soon, so maybe I'll do a food haul soon. And, yeah. But thank you guys for always being so supportive. I love watching all of your videos, and there's so many of you that I mean, I'll check daily to see if you've posted a video, because I love your videos, like Melly May. I love Melly May's videos. I do. Alright, have a good night. Bye.